to Simply Avalon. Today I have a video on how to study. Tip number 1 is to use flashcards, okay? Yes, flashcards. So a lot of people don't like to use note cards because firstly, once you get into certain classes where you're having like 200, it just gets annoying. So, I mean, what I like to do is just split them in half and you have double the flashcards. Even though you only bought 100, you're getting 200 and it is perfect. But just use flashcards for like all of your classes, especially if you have a foreign language. I got you. So my next study tip is to actually take breaks in between study sessions. A lot of people like to just, okay, the night before I'm about to cram, I don't know necessarily if I'm actually containing and keeping this information, but I just need to cram it all in the night before. That's not the best way to study. Usually you want to set time increments of about like 30 minutes or 20 minutes and just go ahead, go over all the material, then stop, give yourself a nice little break, and then maybe an hour later, get back, hit the books again, and just continue on like that until you know the information like the back of your hand, okay? So the third tip I have are actual websites, because who doesn't love websites that you can use instead of flashcards, for instance? For vocabulary, especially if you are taking an English class, I know this won't necessarily work on foreign language vocabulary because they don't have that in their system. I suggest using vocabulary.com. Now, this website is actually the bane of my existence because currently for summer reading, my teacher gave us 2 different lists and we have to learn them 100%. There is no 99 or whatever, but it seriously does test you really, really well until you know the vocabulary. They give you sentences to use with the vocab. They get to make sure that you can actually spell the vocab word, and it's all, there's an app on your phone for $2.99 or so, and then also the website, which is free. Then also Quizlet, which is like, it's perfect, okay? Basically, flashcards online, yes. So basically, I use this for biology, and it is just like, thumbs up, guys, thumbs up. Whoever created that website, I love you. Also, just a little something, it's just like a little school life hack. If you have any history work or just like work that you know that your teacher got from the book or some obvious worksheet, just type in the very exact wording that is used on the question, very verbatim. Type in the whole question onto Google and it'll usually pull up a Quizlet with all the answers. I just saved you a lot of time and you're welcome. So my next tip for studying is to actually use other sites also, like SparkNotes and Shmoop. I'm gonna be totally honest, especially once it comes to soccer season, it's really, really hard to actually finish my reading. Now, I'll usually get it done on a later date, but when your teacher gives you 80 pages of The Book Thief to read and gives you only 2 days to read it and you have a soccer game on both days, it's just probably not going to happen. But Shmoop and SparkNotes gives you a full summary of everything that happened in the chapters that your teacher gives you. And also on Shmoop, it also goes into theme, quotes that may be important. So like my teacher loved to give us quizzes on each of the chapters just to make sure that we were reading and not using websites. It gives you all of that information so that you'll be prepared for those tests. I actually had a few friends, I would not suggest this, but they actually used Shmoop and did not read the books at all, and they just used Shmoop and SparkNotes, read all their version of the book, and they actually made really good grades, okay? But personally, I do not suggest that at all. Please read the books. But if you are in a stitch and you just have not read that night's reading, use SparkNotes or Shmoop. My next tip is to study your notes and also to make good notes. So I already have a video up on how to make good notes, but if you use a lot of color or anything like that, it's really, really easy for you to just read back over it, or if you outline, just read back over it and just figure out the exact thing that you need to study. And I think that studying notes personally is my favorite part when it comes to studying. I don't really like the flashcards that much, other than Quizlet, which is like king of the world when it comes to studying. I don't think studying my notes are like this next best thing. Another tip that I have is to set up study sessions with your friends. Now, I'm personally not the person who can really work with people. I'm very independent like that, But if you are more into group settings and work better with a group, then I definitely suggest setting up just some type of study session, whether it be at the library or at Starbucks or just some local cafe, and just hitting the books there, because sometimes it's better for you to study away from your actual bedroom, home area with other people, because it actually can force you to actually study. Also, what I really love doing is after you've taken notes for a class, just go ahead and text your friends and check and see what their notes are. So not only are you seeing what notes they got, you also can check back at your notes and see, okay, I totally missed that. I was snoozing during that part of the class, so let me just add that to my notes. And then they'll also get to see your notes and see if they're missing anything that you may have written. A lot of people also like to use like GroupMe to do this. Now, I may not suggest this for older kids because this can also translate into possibly cheating, because it's technically seeing their work. But my school is okay with us actually showing our notes as long as it's not really assignments or anything like that. I haven't heard of any rules where people got in trouble for that. So my last 2 tips is to use Paperator and Grammarly. Okay, I know I am showing you guys like a whole bunch of websites right now, but let me just tell you, Paperator like saved my life. It literally just, you type in, well, not type in, you just copy all of your paper that you wrote for history and paste it into their little text box. It literally goes over every single thing that you have written, and it matches it to all the information in its databases to see if you sound too much like one of the sources that you read. It's good to know what your teacher may end up seeing. And then it also gives you a grade at the very end, so that you have something to just go off from. Now, the grades aren't necessarily perfect, but it can help you know if your paper is ready for a teacher or if you need to go back and add some more words. So Grammarly is actually a plugin for Chrome and maybe Firefox also, but I know it's for Chrome. And basically what it does is, based off what you're typing in, especially for like papers again, it goes in and spell checks and grammar checks to English standards. So basically all the stuff that Word may miss, it finds it and tells you how to change it, which is really good for English papers where you may not understand that there needs to be a comma after a certain phrase or sentence, and it'll just go in and do that for you. So the last thing that I have is to put away distractions. I know you love your phone. I do too. But I'm gonna be totally honest, when it comes to studying, it's time to just like chuck your phone over there. And I'm gonna have to pick that up later. But yeah, put away distractions, whether that be a book that you're just really into and you just can't wait to finish reading it, or whether that be my phone, which I just threw on the floor. Just put away the distractions. I can't tell you enough like how many times like I've gone onto my laptop thinking, okay, I'm going to actually study, and then ended up going to Amazon Prime and watching a movie instead, especially at the end of the year. So it's very important for you just to know exactly what you're doing, put away all distractions, and just get that studying done. I also have a little hack for that. A lot of schools have things like Barracuda and other platforms that can actually web search, but you can actually look up online the best web filtering plugin for your computer, and you can use that to block out all sites that you would want to actually go onto during your studying periods. So then even if you want to go onto Instagram and stalk your favorite celebrity, hello, then you can still go. Even if you want to type in Instagram.com, even if you do it into the web browser, it'll actually block it and say that you're not allowed to go into that website for the set time that you have. Now, I think I'll actually link the one that I specifically use right here, or in the down bar, but can't remember that one off the top of my head. And those are all of the hacks that I have for you to studying. And if you want to check my other videos on how to get all A's, or also how to take great notes, you can just click them over here. And that's all I have for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you liked it. And don't forget to comment down below some other tips if you have any down here. We love to hear from you guys. And yeah, bye guys.